I try to share what I think are solid, valid, informative pieces of information with people. That's what I try to do here. Most of the time, sometimes I just make a video for fun, but most of the time I'm trying to get something across. And people get so triggered, man, on YouTube. People get so triggered. You can tell from when you look at the comments section, not my usual crew, not, all the good brothers and sisters that are, been here a long time and are part of what we really are, but all the transients passing through. It's really discouraging. Everybody gets so triggered over so many stupid, minute issues that mean nothing. That just, all it does is accentuate how immature and devolved people actually can be or are. Clueless, man. I'm so grateful that I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this generation. I'm so glad that I'm not young having to grow up. I feel so sorry for people that have to be young and formative growing up in this environment now, what our society has become and what the world's turned into and everything else. Yeah. So the shit that's really important is the normalization of illness, the normalization of sickness. And this is such a huge point, and people just let it go right over their head. I understand if you don't have time to be worried about dwelling on all this stuff, but I'm trying to speak to the people that are worried about if the guy next door is natural or not, or how much of a violation is it because a man's using some testosterone. Utterly ridiculous it sounds for people to even try to make that kind of an argument. You have two choices today. You can run with what you brung. Okay? You can run with what nature's delivered unto you in this point in time. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're quite a bit younger than me, you've been delivered substantially less naturally than what you would have had you been born when I was born. And I am running with substantially less than what I would have been born with naturally if I'd have been born a generation even earlier than I was. And it hasn't been going on for hundreds of years. It's only been going on for past 50 to 70 years, I would say. Okay? Sperm count, declination, 41% in the past 40 decades. Testosterone levels follow sperm count. So when you find a normal range for various things that are in your blood or in your body, toxins and hormone levels and just all kinds of heavy metals and things that don't belong there even, when they tell you a normal level, they're normalizing illness. Okay? Just I'll give you a perfect example. It stretches so far. All right? Ultraviolet radiation is detectable now at ground level on the Earth. Wasn't before. 50 years ago, you couldn't have detected it. Now, just look on YouTube. Look at all the videos. Everybody and their brothers out there picking it up and reporting on it. Various days, in various locations across the United States. How bad it is. How much they're detecting. Okay, do you know what the safe limit for exposure for human beings to ultraviolet radiation is? There is no safe limit. There is no safe limit. So 24/7, you go outside, if the sun's up, you're being bombarded with ultraviolet radiation, and so is the rest of the planet. And then wonder where all the rain comes from. All right, what's a greenhouse like? Condensation all over the windows inside the place. All that moisture from that heat, that condensation has to go somewhere. It goes into the atmosphere, and when it gets heavy enough, it has to come back down. Anyway, there are children, babies born, fetuses, in vitro, that they can detect. I think there's 4. You can Google it if you give a shit about it. You probably don't care. But I believe it's 4. There are 4 toxic metals that are now found in children, still in the womb. They're detectable in their blood. That's considered normal. 50 to 100 years ago, wasn't even detectable at all. So they normalize illness, right? LabCorp, July 2017, announced, it wasn't a secretive thing, it wasn't a conspiracy type thing, announced that they're lowering the range for what's normal for men, for testosterone levels. They announced it. They normalize illness. If everybody's level is lower, then the normal range now is lower than it previously was. So you have two choices. You can either run with what nature gave you, like I was saying, or you can run it at a diminished capacity. You can run it at diminished capacity, that's what nature gave you, in other words, or you can augment. So all the small window of time where you might have been able to bitch about somebody using test, that's long gone, man. That's over with and past. You missed the boat on that one. You either run at a diminished capacity or you augment. If you're healthy, you believe you feel healthy, you're not. You don't know what it feels like to be unsick. But if you were what God intended you to be initially, without the influence of all the shit we've done to the environment and all the radiation we subject ourselves to, however you're doing right now, you'd be doing a hell of a lot better, feeling a hell of a lot better, a lot stronger, much more masculine, etc., etc. You know, they're eliminating us. Whether it's serendipity, you know, just through inaction, or something more sinister, but they're getting rid of men. All you gotta do, let me show you how easy it is. I don't even feel like getting into it, it's too late, I want to go to bed, but for instance, what about the frogs? You know, the Pepe the Frog thing, right? Do you know what that's actually about? That researchers have found frogs now that are male, but they have developed female eggs, and they are fertile. They're fertile. Male frogs. Google it. Have you seen the research that's done now and what we know about fish and freshwater tributaries across the United States? That they're turning female as well. Males are turning female. So it goes on and on and on. I mean, as far down the rabbit hole as you care to go. So what happens when you extrapolate that out another 25 years if we don't take heed, nothing changes, we continue on the path we're on? What happens when there are no more male frogs? What happens when there are no more male fish? It used to be healthy. One of the healthiest things you could do was eat fish every day. Now, they recommend you don't eat it more than twice a week because of all the mercury content that's in fish. You know, that's called out in our oceans. So eventually, someday, we're paying for this now. Everybody's just undeniable because if you've been born into it, then this is normal for you. Dementia's on the rise. Autism's on the rise. Low testosterone's a huge epidemic. And wherever you're at, you may fall in what's considered normal, but it's lower than what you would have been. So you've already been cheated. You've been cheated right out of the womb. And people still want to cry and worry about, rather than worry about what's been done to you and what's been extracted from you and what's continuing to evolve, which actually works out to be de-evolution for us, right? No wonder all the men want to put a skirt on. So anyway, all you got to do is Google and check it out for yourself. If you want to see something really scary, like I was just talking about the ultraviolet radiation detectable ground level, here's a little experiment you can try. You got a microwave in your house? You know, the thing that you throw a cup of water in and you sit there and let it get heated up. So half the time you stand there because you're going to let it in there for a little bit. You think that microwave's safe? You think microwave radiation is safe? You know what the safe recommended exposure of microwave radiation is? There is no safe level. Take your phone, take your cell phone, put it in a microwave, close the door. Call it from another phone. Watch it ring. So, You think that microwave? Do you think that microwave puts out higher, heavier load, more intense field of microwave generates a heavier, more intense amount of microwave radiation than a cell phone? Well, if I can dial that cell phone and call it and make it ring while it's in that microwave with the door closed, you think that door's holding the microwave radiation in when you're cooking something in there? Now there's research that we're being slowly cooked. We're slowly cooking ourselves with all the microwaves traveling through the air, passing through each and every one of us because of all these cell phone towers. And 5G is supposed to be like really, really much, much worse, more drastic. You want to do another experiment? Go get you a piece of organic corn. Go get you an ear of just regular conventional corn. Stick them on a pike, put them outside, see which one the birds and the animals and the insects eat. That'll be eye-opening. Do the same thing with fruit, same thing with certain vegetables. Put a organic one on a pike alongside, on a separate pike of the conventional one. Watch which one the animals eat. I think you will be radically surprised to see that the insects, the animals, they want the organic because they can tell that the other's tainted. Yeah. So, I mean, all this it's real. It's not bullshit. It's not conspiracy. It's not imagination. It's not just a bunch of ramblings. It's actually genuinely real. But do you care? You don't care. You know why most people don't care today? Because we're devolving. Because our test levels are low. Because we are losing the essence of what men should be. Of what a human, a grown, fully evolved human male should be. We're losing that. And we're losing so much more. Cancer through the roof. All this stuff we're doing to ourselves. We're destroying the planet and we're destroying everything on it. And we're destroying ourselves. And we're paying a heavy toll right now. Ever increasingly heavy toll. And because of all the big money and greed at stake, nothing's going to be done about it. So, like I said, before you make a comment telling me that I'm wrong and arguing with me, Google any of the things I just mentioned. And I could sit here all night and get into it, but I know half of you don't want to see this shit anyway. Google and look at some of it. Look at where the research is done. Look at some of the people involved in the studies, the credentials, how much of it there is. All that shit. Stuff that's detectable in the human body now just from hygienic products that we use, that we buy and use, our deodorants and toothpastes and shampoos and soaps and stuff we wash our clothes in, and how prevalent it all is, all the toxins. It's kind of scary shit when if you take the time to go and look at it, you're going to walk away with a whole different opinion. And no, I'm not flexing. This is flexing. Somebody said in one of my videos, yeah, let's turn my hand, rotate my hand, supinate my wrist. Somebody said in one video, how long can you sit there and flex or looking at your arms? See what I'm saying? It's all part and parcel of the same thing. Men don't even know what a man's supposed to look like anymore. Everybody's on synthol, everybody's on, and this is the smallest I've been in many, many, many years. And it still is unbelievable to a lot of people out there. I don't know what kind of shape this planet's going to be in. Aren't women sorely disappointed? But that's our future. That's our future. And I know we got a lot of old school people here. We got a lot of new school people here too that have old souls, that are sturdy, upright, upstanding men. But the rest of this mess out there, you reap what you sow.